Recap on 3/19, Wednesday, March 19. Traded late today. It was 11:30 in New York. I was testing some automation in the morning, first half of the morning. So once I freed up, I wasn't even going to trade because of this FMOC, whatever that. I usually don't trade that. But the market was kind of tame at this point, and it's kind of like when I like to trade. I don't like to trade it when it's too crazy, although I did trade it after 2. I just traded it with an eval just to test it. So this was the early trading. It was maybe about 15 minutes. But just to run through the rules for the trades, sometimes I use the cloud, sometimes I use the levels. In this case, it was a Ludwig level. So it's a touch. And what I did, we see this arrow here. I entered right there. Sometimes I can hit this, but I think I got a better fill. I like getting in right on the touch and right through. And you can see great win right at that level. Now, high of the day, this is the second standard deviation. Usually I get in here, but it was a high of the day. I played the short. Didn't get out, but I did add in at that same level. So really good trade. So I ultimately had 4 contracts. Not sure where the 4 came from, but because I see 1, 2, 3, and looks like I got 4 targets there. I don't know how, but another good trade. Now, this is the perfect definition of the bouncer trade that I created. This green line is second standard deviation. If we pull it down, third standard, it was very big range today. That's kind of large, I guess, because the market was kind of crazy with the news and stuff. So once price gets in here, you can see I start building a position, adding it at these levels. And actually, it was a good escape by me, too. And it was a quick escape because this was a crazy move and it could have kept going. So, because it only broke, it could have went all the way up. So, really just want to get out of it. And I did win, good 5, 10 points. Again, right back in again because it's the high of the day. And I know I can add in at the levels, and then, when it flushes back, I get my profit. So let's see. And I only went in with 1 contract here and 1 here, which is a good move. And again, really good escape by me. It must have been just, the fact that it didn't fly to this level. As soon as there was some hesitation, I probably just moved my targets up and took a few points there. Even if it was 4 or 5 points, that's fine. Again, high of the day, same concept. Might have got in. I got to look. I use these arrows a lot to get in. Like this one right here, which would be sell, MACD crossover. Looks like that's what I did, and boom. 1 contract, just be real conservative. Went in with 2 here. Okay, so this trade, again, so this was just high of the day, reversal bar, win 1 contract. This trade, this is a trade setup that I really like. It's color change of the cloud. Once we get a pullback, I go here and I go there. And that's how I get in the trade. Or I might have just entered. So there's 2 ways I do it. That's one, and the other way is, in this case, I just got in, and it was a perfect entry, I should say. And specifically because this level is here. And like I said, they're not that relevant, these levels, but they are. I could have got a lot more, but I played level to level, and that's fine. Winning trade. I could have got a little bit more there. But 2 contracts there. I got, at least 5, 6 points each. Okay. When this happened here, what normally happens is goes to here. So that's what I was playing here. And this might have been, I don't know if I entered with that or with this. If it got in there. And then, the reversal bar flipped right away. So I was playing from this level to this. So when that happens, what do? You add in here. Now I'm in 3 contracts. And that's it. This level held. It was in the second standard deviation. I knew I had this, pushback here. And, right out at the level. So really good technical trading by me using the rules that I created. This is exactly the rules. So I was following the rules. And I think this was kind of it. It was, I don't know if it was 100, a couple of hundred, whatever it was. That was it. By noon I was done. So it was, maybe 10, 15 minutes of trading, get up and done. I think I flipped to a new eval. Oh, it did trade there. So part of this was, like I said, I was testing automation in the morning. It was actually this Futures Analytica. And it was down $400 on this eval. So I came in and I got the $400 back. And then I think I made another 150. So I got it back early. And then one of the trade rooms and a guy named George from Harmony Trader, he said he was going to trade after 2. And I said, let me watch him. So you can see this is the movement after 2. And then eventually I jump in. You'll see some trades pop in. I think I picked up about $150, maybe more. All right. Once it calmed down a little bit, and before Powell started talking, once he started talking, I stopped trading. So I knew he wasn't talking, and there you go. This is the worst of the trades that I took. Again, what's the rule? This level breaks, it should touch this level. And it missed it, and I didn't. It must have moved so fast that I couldn't get out. And it was 84.77. Now, I don't know why. I'm at 7.5 points. I might have just missed it, but it never got me out there. So I had to add in, and it really pushed pretty far on me. Wow, it blasted right through the 900, which is pretty wild. But I did add in. Once it hit this level, I figured, we should get a rollback, and we came back pretty quickly. Still not out. Playing the bounce from here to here. Still fighting it, and there you go. Wow, only one got out there. Crazy. That was good. I held it a little longer. So that was a pretty big trade there. I don't know how much heat I took, but it's a 50K eval, so I had tons of room to play with. And I don't even think I had this $200 thing on. But I don't think I really went down more than 200. Or if it was just about 200, because it wasn't that far. It was from my original entry is 84. Only went up to 10. So that's micros. It's maybe 30 points. So that's not that much. And it wasn't a lot of contracts. So good sequence of trades there. Definitely made some bucks there. It looks like another great entry here. This looks like I was just taking the signal. Let's blow this up a little bit. We turn green, pull back long. I know there's a level in the way, but that's one of my setups now with this cloud. That's how I use the cloud. Turn green, first pull back long. And it was a quick pair. My ninja's frozen a little bit. That's not good. Whoa. See that? It'll come back, but what the hell was that about, right? That's what we deal with as traders. Now it looks like I flipped to shorts. Was there any automation here? No? That was just me seeing the reversal. I generally don't take the trade when it turns red, but I must have, when this level broke, I was going to play it to here, and exactly what the trade was. And it was only one contract. Usually I would take longs here. Oh, I did. These are Ludwig levels here. These are the strongest levels I have, and I did start to build a position here. And usually it hits here and goes straight up, but it didn't. I had another one here, so I added in and got them all out. Because the normal move would be it breaks it, it touches and then goes down. In this case, it did touch and go down, but you had another level here. It never got past this one. If this level wasn't here, it was a good shot. It was going to continue down, but this held it together. And these are both Ludwig levels here. I think there's old Ludwig and new Ludwig. They're in the process of changing over to a newer version, but I got both on right now. So you can see great sequence of trades and great exit really right at that level, even though it blasted through. Runners are my worst trade manager. I don't know how to manage runners. I'm terrible with it. Here's another one. Green cloud, pull back to this level. We never touched, going here to here. perfect execution. And, you know, I had a follow stop that got hit in here, so it locked in. You know, that's what that pullback was, the follow stop getting hit. Another good trade. I didn't take it, but I think I was actually done. I don't think I traded anymore. That was you know, at least $150 on an account that was down 4, but I made the 4 back and then made another 50. All of that trading. I thought it was on MES. I don't even know. But anyway, that was a quick recap. My trades didn't populate, so got nothing else to show. Anyway, I'm adding some levels tomorrow called, there's a guy on YouTube called Monkey Man Trades. He has a key level indicator, and there's a lot of levels on that I don't use and I liked. So hopefully those will be plotted on here. And if they line up with these, even better. You know, it gives me a double level, and I could say what levels are stronger than others. Because even though support and resistance radar, I say they're not as strong, but you can see how price reacts at these levels. It's amazing. You know, when you know, NQ's in a range most of the time, and it's ranging in between these levels. You know, it's when you get these violent moves like this, it's crazy. But look, as quick as it went up, it probably came down, right? So, you know, that's why if I was short here, I'd have to add in. I have to get out at these levels, even if it's a loss, because you know, it broke here, but this one touched and boom, shot up again. Curious about the bounce trading. This was all news driven. This was Powell started speaking, I stopped trading. That's what's going on here, and this is why I don't trade. But the bouncer trade, let's see, did it hang in there? We broke the level. High of the day, we short. Yeah, it's a struggle, but you'd be winning if you were adding in here on these reversals. Yep. So this trade, even with news driven, it's working, which is good news. All right.